a nail biter of a game, just to have it go 0-0 so late. Kerry Bonds, as he's affectionately called, how exciting is it to see him step up to the plate knowing he can handle that pressure?
Yeah, I mean, what a game! It's an understatement, but how about the 3 2 out hits? I mean, it doesn't. Obviously, Kerry. We want him up to bat as often as we can. In those moments, he can change the scoreboard. He can change the game. He does it time after time. But you got to have guys do something in front of him in order to give him that opportunity. And we got 3 2 out hits against the best closer in baseball. So really happy with how we, finally found a way to scratch them across with some big hits.
Double plays today as well, but the defense has been able to get that done with Scoob on the mound a bunch of times. They all come back to the dugout fired up. How does that feel?
Yeah, no, it's led by Tarik. I mean, he's as emotional as you can get at the right time, at the right volume. He's able to reset and do his thing. And this is what October is built for. I mean, he's built for October too. I mean, it's so rewarding to see our guys, play calm, play at ease, play competitively, and ultimately play like a winner.
We'll go here in the front.
Talking about Tarek, he seemed like he had his emotions, but he was controlled for the most part, except for after the double plays, obviously. Did you see a different kind of gear, maybe a different kind of precision with him today?
I don't think so. I mean, I think when you watch him time after time, you kind of wonder when is the big moment, when's the big strikeout, when's the big pitch. How playful is he going to be with the crowd, especially on the road. But generally, he's really laser focused on being a lead. I mean, he wants to lead this team, and he does. I mean, it's one thing to want it; it's another thing to go out and do it. And he demonstrated dominance today against a tough team that puts the ball in play. Yet he finds some swing and miss. They create momentum, and yet he's able to squash it. So obviously, it's a big win led by Tarik and many others, but we feed off of him, every 5-6 days when he pitches.
Jordan?
AJ, you guys really started to heat up once Kerry Carpenter got back into the lineup in the middle of August there. So what was it like, and what have you seen from him to become truly elite against right-handed pitching?
We missed him, for a long time this year, and obviously he's a center point of our offense when when we face right-handed pitching. He's usually batting second, third, or fourth. When he's not, he's got his helmet on, his bat in his hand pretty much for every inning until we decide to unleash him. So everybody knows it. It's no secret that he's a big threat, and he's prepared, and he's as balanced a human as you're going to get, which allows him to stay grounded in whatever we ask him to do. So we missed him a ton during the year, and this is an example. It's easy to say today is why, but so many more things that he brings to the table that create an incredible influence on our team.
Any more questions?
It didn't at the time. It seemed like it was going to be the play of the game, but in the eighth inning, Wenzel's line drive to left. What did you see from that play?
I saw him hit it to the wrong guy. I mean, that guy's. I mean, it's. I was looking for some blade of grass, maybe one that was grown a little higher than the other, to show on the board. They only showed us the one. There are some angles that make it look like, not sure if the thumb of the glove got underneath the ball. It probably means every time they say stands, I think whatever was called on the field was going to probably be what it was. When he bounced up emotional, I couldn't tell if he was good at poker or if he actually really caught it. But he's a gifted player, and just hit it to the wrong guy. I thought Wenzel had really good at-bats. I thought a lot of our guys had really good at-bats the entire day until we finally broke through.
It wasn't a back against the wall situation, but just to be able to go back to Detroit with a win in your pocket.
I mean, you come to this, environment and on the road, and it's a 5-game series, and even look at the other series, when you get that emotional win and go back home, 1-1, and you feel like you got one on their home turf. We now have 2 games at our place. We know it's going to be electric. We know Detroit has waited a really long time for a playoff game. We're going to have a couple of them and a chance to take control of this series.
Did you and Tarik have a conversation at all about going from the 6th to 7th inning because Cleveland was starting to hit him a little bit more, maybe have some better at-bats? Was there a conversation at all?
No, so at the end of those games, Tarek and I have a great back and forth. Just he wants to know what's on my mind, and I definitely want to know what's on his mind. And he likes knowing where my sights are. And so I usually give him an idea of where I'm circling, the next stress point. And so it gives him a chance to know, sort of when to lean on the gas pedal for the last time versus, kind of do his normal thing. Now he leans on that gas pedal a lot. So we just go back and forth. He can handle knowing, hey, I'm going to take you out in the 4th or 5th hitter or 6th hitter. Here's what I'm expecting out of you. And I shoot him straight, and then he goes out and does his part.
Congratulations, Tarik. Did you have some fun with the fans today? Coming up after those double play balls.
Yeah, that was. I don't really know where I was at mentally in those situations, but I probably shouldn't say some bad words with some cameras on me with kids watching. But it was just emotion, raw emotion, and that's not like anything. The environment here, first off, was great. I think Cleveland fans, this environment, it was incredible to play in, hostile, all that stuff that as a kid you dream of playing and pitching in front of. So, it was kind of both those things, I guess.
I just, after you hit Noel, the crowd was really on you. Did you feed off that? Can you shut that out, or how does that play with you? Because next pitch double play, same thing happened the next.
Yeah, I think that's why there was probably, you get booed in that situation, and obviously I'm never trying to hit anybody, and the pitch was actually, it was barely in off, but yeah, you're never trying to hit anybody, and I, made sure that like he was good at first base, just because, I would hate to like have his hand break or something, and he'd be out for the rest of the postseason. It just would suck all the way around. So that's probably why there was probably a little emotion there, just because you get booed in that situation, and that's never what I'm trying to do.
In the front, Jeff.
You felt and what you saw when Kerry hit his homer?
Yeah, I was in the weight room kind of doing the post-throw stuff, and what a swing. I was on the ground, and I think that's the fastest I've ever stood up in my life. So what a swing off of a really good pitcher, too, the best closer in the game. So, yeah, it was – that was incredible to watch.
What have you seen from Kerry over the course of the season, especially since you guys really started to heat up once he kind of joined the lineup again in August?
Yeah, his bat is very important to our lineup, very, very important. The power, the slug, contact, I feel like he doesn't punch out. He's kind of like what you want as a hitter, right? And I think he's every right-handed pitcher's nightmare. It's like, where do you go with him? I don't really know how to – I've watched, and I'm like, I don't even know how to get him out. And he's left-handed, left on left. It's like to have him in the lineup is very important for us.
Not the first time that the boys have come up with some big double plays just to end your outing, and obviously that fuels the emotion too. But how nice is it just to have the defense right behind you?
Yeah, our defense was huge. Raj was great behind the plate too, and and then Parker catches that ball in what inning was that? I don't know what inning that was. That's kind of a blur. But yeah, it was defense is huge, and especially against a team like this where there's runs are at a premium just because of what they can do with the bullpen and their starting pitching and the way they play defense too. So. Yeah, defense is a big part of the victory today.
Tarik, when you walked, when you walked off for good, you kind of raised or spread your arms out and almost motioned to the crowd. Was that kind of a let's go or bring what you've got or boo all you want, bring it on? This is awesome.
I'll be honest, I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. Yeah, never done that before in my life, but.
We'll go here in the front.
I know you're a competitor, so what's it like facing Ramirez? Like, first time or one of the times you faced him it was fastball heavy. Next time it was changeup heavy. What was that battle like for you?
He's a great hitter. His numbers off me are really good in his favor too. I think he's one of the best 5 players in the big leagues too. What he can do defensively, switch hitting, power from both sides. You name it, he's got it. He's got every tool in the book, and I love watching him play, across the field too. I hate when he does well against us, but, I love watching him play. Got a ton of respect for that guy. So, but that stuff's kind of on Raj and what he's reading. We go over scouting report on what we're supposed to do, but when you get in the game will kind of dictate what you throw in that situation, and Raj does a great job back there.
Right here today, obviously, it wasn't an elimination game. But can you speak to how big it was, first of all, to even it, but to go home even And the fans in Detroit haven't seen playoff baseball in a minute. So can you kind of speak to how big that is and how huge it might be on Wednesday?
Yeah, steal a game on the road, and now we got kind of home field advantage. 2 out of the next 3 are at our yard. So I look forward to, I don't get to play in front of those fans, but I look forward to those environments and creating tough situations for, their defense, their pitching, their hitting, and use it to our advantage as best we can. But, yeah, I mean, it's huge to split, especially after the last game. And, yeah, it's huge to get home, even.
Along those lines, Tarik, it's a lot different, obviously, going back 1-1 than it is 2-0. And I know AJ and a bunch of guys had said this was no elimination game, no backs against the wall. But as a competitor, how much was it in your mind to ensure that this wasn't a 2-0 hole, no matter, to do everything you could to make sure that?
Yeah, I think every time I take the mound, I'm trying to put my team in a position to win and do what I can to win, whatever, however it's possible. So. In the moment, you just can't make the game bigger than it needs to be. As a competitor, you can't make it bigger than it needs to be. You got to stay in the moment. And, as much as it is, tough to overcome a 2-0 deficit, you got to understand that you just got to keep executing pitches and keep going right after guys and keep the game simple, in the biggest moments. And I think I did a good job of that today.
Just piggybacking on that, how did you did you have to trick yourself into not making it a bigger game? Going to sleep last night, hanging out earlier today before you get to the park?
Yeah, I don't know if it's tricking yourself or just like truly believing it. I truly believe that. I think that's when I'm at my best, and I keep the game simple and just go right at guys, with strike one, strike two, and get guys uncomfortable. So, yeah, I don't want to nibble. I don't want to, I don't really like thinking like that either. It kind of can get the moment too big, and then maybe you misfire or start to spray it a little bit. So I truly believe that, though. I truly believe that you got to keep the game the same and just worry about executing pitches and what you can control, and that's just your effort level on every throw. So that's what I do when I'm on the mound.
Congratulations. Can you take us through the at-bat? I mean, I think he threw you 3 straight sliders. I don't know if you might have been sitting on that last one. Just kind of take us through it, please.
Yeah, I wasn't sitting on it, but I was just on time for his hardest pitch in that cutter, and I was just like zoning in for it to start in a certain zone, and my instincts took over, and he missed his spot, so took advantage of it.
Hey, Kerry, all game long, how much did you guys feed off Tarik's emotion? I mean, we've seen it before, but it seemed heightened even today.
I mean, I can't say enough about Skubal. It's incredible. His emotion, he's our leader. Every inning he goes out there, even if he was getting in trouble today, no one in our dugout thought that he wasn't going to get out of it. He's incredible, and the way he fires up our team and the way he goes out and executes and gets ground balls when he needs to, gets strikeouts when he needs to, it's fun to watch, and I'm glad that he's on my team and he's my leader.
A nail-biter of a game as the innings continue to wind down and it's still 0-0. There's already playoff pressure, but do you feel more pressure building as it gets closer to your time?
I wouldn't say there's more pressure when you just think of it as another game, and it's not another game, but I mean, I don't think any added pressure is going to help, and so you just have to go out and execute, and Skubal was doing that, and then we were executing a lot in our at-bats, and nothing was falling. Winsell had an amazing at-bat, and Quan made a great play, so I didn't really feel extra pressure. It was just go in there and lock in.
Got the start. How many swings did you do in the cage during the game, or none at all?
I had 0 swings in the cage during the game. They have a little tee area right next to our dugout, but yeah, I felt good before the game, and I don't typically need to take a lot of swings before or during the game, but yeah, so I felt good. I took some swings off the tee, but yeah, I didn't go down to the cage.
Did you feel, Kerry, like it was a no-doubter as soon as it left your bat, and as you were rounding the bases, I noticed your helmet fell off. Just the breeze running through your hair, that moment, can you describe and tell us what it was like running around the base paths at that point?
I don't know if I can describe it, but yeah, I knew it was gone, and it was just an amazing feeling being able to come through for this team, because our pitchers are keeping us in these games like crazy, and it's amazing to be able to come through for our pitching staff, especially Skubal, Vest, Brisky. These guys are just like laying it all out there for us, and to be able to come through for them. And I mean, they threw a shutout today. It's incredible. So that was kind of my emotion, is like I wanted to go celebrate with everybody on the team.
With 2 outs, 2 clutch 2-out hits in front of you, like you probably weren't even sure you were going to get up in that inning. How big were those 2 guys in front of you? And I guess just watching from the dugout and realizing that you were going to get a chance to face them in that inning.
Yeah, I wanted a chance, and those guys put together great swings, because there's probably not too many innings this year that Class A gave up 2 hits in 1 inning, let alone 3. So for a guy like Raj, like we all trust Raj up there, and then Sweeney's been in the big leagues for a couple months, and he continues to impress me every single day. The double play that he started, everything that he does at the plate, it's extremely impressive, and the fact that he was able to give me a chance, I was thankful and honestly not surprised, because he's big when it counts.
Kerry, what was it like in the dugout as the game was going on and it's 0-0, 0-0, and pitching and great defense on both sides? Do you guys in that situation feel that you're in a good spot then, just give you a shot, or how were you feeling as the game was unfolding?
Really confident, because they have a really good bullpen, but we have just as good of a bullpen, and so when it's 0-0 going into the late innings, at least for me, I feel really confident that our pitchers are going to go out there and keep throwing up zeros, because they've been doing it all year, and so they've been incredible, and today was no different, and somebody was going to get a big hit at some point, either for us or them, and it happened to be us.
Kerry, you mentioned that you weren't taking a lot of swings during the game. What is the difference between your preparation in a game that you're coming off the bench versus starting, and how are you able to be so confident regardless of either role?
I wouldn't say my preparation differs that much. It's just the fact that I haven't gotten at bats the rest of the game, or the first part of the game, like I normally do. So when I'm playing the field or DHing, I typically don't take too many swings in between at bats anyway. So it's not too different. It's just I want to be ready for that first swing I have to take in the box, and so that's kind of the way I look at it.
I know it's a big moment anyway, but does it feel even more special coming off the best closer in baseball?
Yeah, it is special, because I don't know how many runs or home runs at least he's given up this year. So I feel like it's a lot of God's grace right now, and it's pretty fun to be a part of this, and to do it off of him is special, because he's literally the best closer in the game for a reason, and he's tough, but I like battling those guys.